So welcome to our class. This is the first online video, and we were talking about the second chapter, how to handle the input and output things and doing basically operators in Python. So this is the page number of a textbook. So how to write a simple program here. First of all, we will design a solution for a specific problem and use programming to make it work. So to write a program, we will design an algorithm. Sometimes we will hear the word of algorithm, we'll feel it is, oh, very difficult. No, algorithm is just a process and sequence. How do you handle work and convert it into a program, instructions, or code? So the algorithm describes the solution to the problem by listing the actions, sequence by sequence, steps by steps, to be taken and the order in which they are performed. So this is a case about the algorithm for calculating the area of a circle. The algorithms for calculating the area of the circle can be designed as follows. First of all, we will read the radius. It's part of input. And then the area is calculated using the following formula. The area equal radius, multiple pi. We know that, okay? So finally, we want to know the answer. So show the outcome. So in order to store a radius value, the program must declare a variable. Just like spaces, we want to store and remember what is your radius. A variable is a name that refers to the value stored in your computer's memory. As we mentioned before, we have to do that x equal 1, x equal 2, just like something like that. It is a variable. Variable means your value will change all the time. When you assign different value to a variable, then the value of the variable will change. So his function just store the value you want to keep in your computer's memory. So we need a name to help us. What is the value or what is the variable to his functionality, or what is the duty to remember the value? So a descriptive name should be selected as a variable name, help us to memory what it is. So the variable of radius represents the value it is refers to radius. Sometimes we will do that. So make people easier to understand. Otherwise, if we do not mention it, we use the X, Y, Z, something do not help to memory will make people confusing, especially yourself, because you may write a program, but use a lot of variables. So use a descriptive name can help you to easily understand what are you use. The variable of area represents the value it refers to the area. So let's move on. It's a sample of programming 2.1. You can find by your textbook page 33 here. So step 1 gives a fixed value. Here we will demonstrate how to give a fixed value for the radius of the circle radius. And step 2, we will calculate area. And the final step, through the print function, yes, we will use the print function, display the value of area in the console. So this is the sample programming 2.1, and you can see this is a command line, and radius equal 20 is fixed, and area will equal radius multiple pi here. Here we will use the fixed value here. Maybe we just use the 3.14, and final part we will print the results. And this part I want to show you what is the differences. We use the double quotation here. Because in the first class, we have already introduced you that in the Python, print is a function can show you and show the result, what you want to show to the users. If you want to show the originally string, you can use the double quotation. For example, the area for the circle of radius. And the comma here, why we use the comma here? Because this is a variable. Yes, it's radius. When the radius value change, this part will, will change at the same time. But this part is a string. So when you want to combine two different of type, the data type, this is a string, this is a variable. The variable could be value, the variable could be number, the variable also could be the string. So we don't know, but we want it variable, changeable. So we use the comma to connect two different of data type. And next part is become back to string because it's fixed. And finally, comma is also spaces here. So finally, we can see if we use the comma in the print function, it will become a spaces. And finally, we want to see the result. The result here is area. Also, it's the result of the radius, multiple radius, and multiple pi. So it's changeable. When the radius change, the result, of course, will change. So we want it to change at the same time. So it is a variable part. So we want it changeable and final print the result. So we try to use it. And we can use idle here. Hope you can practice at the same time. So, of course, if you forget how to make your font size larger, you can use the options, configure idles. For demonstration, I will use the size 25. I hope, of course, you can do by your side your familiar size, but I hope it is help for your eyes. When it is larger, it will also help the teaching assistant and me if we check your answer. Okay, so because it's an interactive model, as we discussed, but now we want to use the script model, and now we will start our first function online. So we will type radius because radius is here is a fixed value. For example, we give it 20. Suppose we give it a 20, and then we will have a variable called area. Area can calculate the radius, multiple radius. So radius, multiple radius. Yes, is the best style. So please make a spaces here and multiple the pi. Of course, we can type 3.14. It's easier. Of course, we can also have a really value. Of course, I will teach you because there is a function, is a package we can import the package. But now I want to introduce different concepts here. So I want to show you here. And finally, we want to print the result. Okay, the area of radius come on. We put it radius. Oh, make sure do not have type error. Is fixed and comma space area. Okay, let's try. Remember I told you, you can use the wrong module here. You can also directly print the F file. It's also fine. So now because we are, potential programmer, we try to help you to use that way. So I will put it in compute area. Sometimes we will use the, how to have the name of the file name. We will use the, for example, it's a two word here, right? But when we set up a file name, we can use the spaces. So sometimes it's it's very traditional way. We will use the second word and the first letter capitalized here. And because the default type is Python file, so we do not have some subnet as .py. We don't have to do that because the type is Python. But if you do not use the idle, you use the WordPad or Sublime, something like that, to edit your program, you have to plus the .python to make sure the computer know it is a subnet of the Python file. Okay, we just save it.